Happy Monday, everyone. We're coming at you with a classic CrossFit work set with a slight twist, but it's going to be a good time. So before we get to that, let's talk about our warm-up. Our warm-up is going to consist of a plank to down dog with toe touch for 3 to 5 reps, quad plank 3 at 10 seconds, floor pike hold at 3 at 10 seconds, and a floor-facing angle hold of 3 at 5 seconds. So a nice chance to warm up the upper body, get those shoulders prepped and ready for what's to come. I'm going to hit that up for about 2 rounds. 3 if you'd like to spend some more time on that upper body, and we're working on those 2 holds, which are very, very beneficial in building that good core and shoulder strength. After that, we're going to start playing around with some dumbbell work, just kind of priming you up for what's to come. Dumbbell deadlift for 3, dumbbell power clean for 2, and then a goblet squat of 20 seconds just to get those legs fired up for later on in the workout. You're going to hit that 2 rounds or 2 to 3, depending if you want to throw in a practice round before you get into the work set. The work set today is a series of 3-minute AMRAPs. So what you are going to do is 5 rounds of work, all right? 1 round is equal to one of these 3-minute AMRAPs. So you'll AMRAP for 3 minutes, dumbbell power clean for 3 per side, push up for 6, and 9 air squats. So you're gonna AMRAP that 3 minutes, as many rounds as you can in that. Then once you're done that 3-minute AMRAP, you get a minute of rest. That is 1 complete round of work in that work set. You do that 5 times. Our goal of this is to try and keep our AMRAP count consistent over the 5 rounds. You may find that your AMRAPs might drop off by a couple reps. That's our goal, is to perhaps keep it within a couple reps. You might find that you start going a little faster each round as well. All right, so it could go either way, or you might just end up finding that happy medium and taking it down. So the biggest thing, you guys, is really working on good solid power cleans and a really nice technique through the push-ups. Those 9 squats at the end really do start to catch up. So I want you to think about keeping it at a steady state pace that allows you to move with good quality and nice solid recovery for those power cleans. All right, so we got a fun work set, 5 rounds, AMRAPs of 3 minutes, with a 1-minute rest in between those rounds. It's gonna be a great day, great time. Let's get you warmed up and ready to go. All right, you guys, let's get warmed up. Let's get moving around. Take the arms up big and tall. We're gonna stretch it over to one side, just waking things up a bit. Take it to the other side, big stretch. Come back up, roll forward fold, touching those toes. Go walk up those shins. Coming all the way down, framing the foot. We'll step back into our lizard, nice and square in those hips. Inside hand is gonna reach way up to the sky. We're gonna rotate forearm to the floor. From here, we'll come back up. We're gonna rotate forearm to the floor, and back up. And one last time, rotate forearm to the floor. And we'll come back up. Planting that hand, we're gonna take that outside hand up to the sky, big stretch. We'll come back down, stepping back into our down dog, reaching those hips nice and high as we walk those heels out super slow. Feeling out those calves, feeling out those ankles. We'll come back into our plank. We're gonna step that other foot up. Nice and square in those hips. Inside hand's gonna reach. We'll rotate, forearm to the floor. We'll come back up, rotate, forearm to the floor. Last time, big stretch up, and rotate, forearm down. We'll come back up to the sky, plant that hand. Outside hand's gonna reach way up. We'll come back down, we'll step back into our down dog as we reach those hips. Just walk those heels out a little bit. Again, just waking up our ankles. Thinking about keeping that big toe down on the floor, making sure that we're getting that full range that we have today. Come back into our plank, pushing the floor away. We'll tiptoe those feet up. Roll yourself up slow, big stretch. We'll reach. Bring those hands down. Let's get you guys fired up and ready to go. So, if there's any extra little warm-up you need to take down for yourself, lower, upper, whatever it happens to be, please take that down. Pause the video, rock that, get yourself prepped. I'm gonna start walking you through that upper body and core piece and get you guys slowly started to get ready for this work set. All right, we're gonna kickstart off our day with a plank to down dog with an additional toe touch. So I'm gonna turn sideways so you guys can see my hip angle. My feet, nice solid positioning. I'm gonna push the floor away into that nice solid plank. So I'm pulling my ribs in, pushing the floor away just a bit to get that nice activated so I can get that hip angle in the down dog. And then from here, setting those shoulders, I can take one hand, touching a toe, and take the other hand and touch the other toe. From here, I'll come back into that plank, pushing the floor away as we get nice and set, and then I'll move back into the next rep. It's very important that before we take that hand off the floor and touch our toe, that we set and stabilize that shoulder so that we have nice activation there. We're stable and solid on that one arm so that we can touch or reach for that toe as we need to. So take your time on that setup. Make sure that those shoulders are set before we move into that toe touch. We have 3 to 5 reps of that kind of sequence. Remember taking your time to work those shoulders, set that positioning out. When we're done that, you can move into a few cat-cow curls if you like, or you can just jump right into the next movement, which is a quad plank. So we're gonna start off in our tabletop, space between the knees and hands. I'm gonna push the shoulders up towards the ceiling a bit, or push the floor away. My ribs are gonna pull in a little bit, and my toes are curled under. I'm going to lift the knees about an inch off the floor as I pull everything to the center mark. I'm just going to create that nice tension inwards. So I'm pulling everything into that midsection. I'm not rounding out my back, but I am trying to pull my arms, pull my feet together. They're not going to move because the floor is stopping them. They're connected to the ground. But we are going to feel that little engagement through that upper body and through that lower body a little differently than just lifting up our knees. So we're going to work with 3 reps at 10 seconds each. In between reps, if you'd like to add in a cat-cow, thread the needle, scap push up, please be my guest. It's a nice way to get some extra warm-up, extra work for that tissue in the shoulder to get prepped for the work set. After the quad plank, we're going to do 3 at 10 second floor pike holds. So very similar setup, except we're going to bring our knees together. We're going to still set up our positioning. We're going to push our shoulders up. We're going to pull our ribs in. But this time, we're going to extend those legs, lifting those hips, keeping the shoulders stacked over the hands. I'm going to push to the ground, keep those legs straight. I'm going to hold that little floor handstand position. So the nice thing about this is it helps build the tension, the engagement I need through my body to maintain and hold a good handstand position. So make sure we're setting up really well on the floor in that tabletop position before we lift up, and that's going to help equal that success we need for that tension and body position we're looking for in that tall position. So we have 3 10-second holds. So again, like in our quad plank, if you'd like to add in a few cat-cows, thread the needles, you can do that as well because it's just extra warm-up for those shoulders, and it's also going to give you a little bit of a break in between reps. So you'll be able to execute those reps a little bit cleaner and a little bit more rested. After we're done our floor pike hold, we're going to go onto the ground. We're going to work on opening up the chest a bit. So our hands are going to be at the bottom of our push-up position. So just outside the shoulders by the chest. I'm going to get myself set up. I'm going to pull my shoulders forward where I don't want them. I'm going to pull them back. So I'm going to do that humeral glide. This time I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in. Then I'm going to squeeze my shoulders together, elbows come off the ground, or elbows come back, hands come off the ground. Hold for 5 seconds, lower down. So we're looking for that nice tight hollow. We're looking to keep that hand stacked under the elbow as we squeeze the shoulders and lift straight back. We want to make sure we're not contorting our body just to get our hand off the floor. I'm not overly concerned about the hand coming up high. I'm concerned about the elbow and wrist staying in alignment as we squeeze back through the upper back. So that's going to help open up the chest a bit. You're going to feel a nice pull through the pec and chest as well. As a quick recap, we have a plank to down dog with toe touch for 3 to 5 reps, quad plank for 3 at 10 seconds, floor pike hold for 3 at 10 seconds, and a floor facing angel hold 3 at 5 seconds. We're going to hit that for 2 rounds, or 3, depending on how much extra love you want to show those shoulders and get that upper body prepped. And then we're going to move into our dumbbell work. So pause the video, take that down, get yourself prepped and ready. It's going to be a nice, warm kind of adventure through the core, through the shoulders. And then we're going to practice those key movements we're going to use in our workout. All right, you guys, let's get ourselves ready to go with these dumbbells now. So we're going to start off our day with a deadlift, just to work on our range of motion. This is going to be a really good indicator in where we take the power clean from. So if you're not comfortable taking it from the floor, this is a really good idea in terms of kind of feeling out slowly in a controlled setting where we want to take the dumbbell from that maintains a good back position. So what I'm going to do is going to stand over top of my dumbbell. All right, the dumbbell's going to cut my foot in half. I'm going to take the hips back and down as I keep those shoulders square, the weight through the midfoot, and my body nice and solid. I'm going to push through those legs. I'm going to open up the hips and the knees, standing tall. And then I'm going to take my hips back and down again, getting to that range where I feel comfortable, somewhere below the knee. Pushing through those legs again, opening up the hips. And then you take it back and down for third rep. Again, so feeling those feet, pushing through that midfoot so we open up tall. And then we're going to take it down to that end range position for our power clean. So the power clean is going to be taken from the floor or from below the knee somewhere. You're going to build momentum from the floor, driving through the legs, pulling into a little power squat. So our feet don't really have to move because we're doing a sumo position, so our feet are already in that squat stance receiving position. The big thing here is if you watch the dumbbell stays close to the body. We're not letting the dumbbell wing out away and curl away from the body. It's staying right up the front into that good squat landing in that power position. So one more time, I take it down, I drive through the legs, building momentum. Yep, pull into that little squat, that good front rack, stand, come back down. In the workout, we're doing 3 per side. In the warm-up, we're just doing 2 per side. So we'll have a chance to feel what it's gonna feel like, feel out some loading, and take it from there. So we move through the deadlift, making sure we're hitting those good positions. Move into that more momentum-driven movement, the power clean, focusing on keeping the dumbbell close, hitting that good receiving position. And then we're gonna just wake up the legs a little bit right out of that power clean. We're gonna pull the dumbbell up under the chin into our goblet squat. So our feet are gonna stay in our normal squat stance, hip to shoulder. Pushing into that dumbbell a bit, I'm gonna draw the hips down towards the heels. I'm gonna push into those legs. Draw it down towards the heels, push towards those legs. And we're gonna use the same mechanics in our workout, but an air squat variation. So the dumbbell is gonna help give you some resistance to keep your chest up tall, to keep that posture nice and solid as we work on those mechanics with a little bit of loading, so that when we go to the workout, we can just really focus in on that good air squat. So we have a dumbbell deadlift, 3 reps, dumbbell power clean 2, repeat on the opposite side. Hit that goblet squat for 20 seconds of just steady, good quality squatting to groove position for what's to come. You'll hit that 2 to 3 rounds, again, depending on how many rounds, if you want to do a practice round in there, then I would do 2 at a practice, or you can do 2 to 3 of this piece if you're not going to do a little practice round of the work set. So take your time, get your body ready to go, because our work set is pretty intense. We want to make sure that that heart rate is ready, those movements feel clean as we move into that lovely work set. Pause the video, take that down, get prepped and ready. Let's talk about the workout. All right, the workout is here. How it's gonna go. 3, 2, 1, go. You have 3 minutes to do as many rounds of 3 power cleans per side, 6 push-ups, 9 air squats. Once the 3 minutes is up, you will rest 60 seconds and you'll repeat that 4 more times. So a total of 5 3-minute AMRAPs. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be fast, and it's gonna get tiring. But let's try and focus on consistency through our work sets and try and match those rounds every single AMRAP. Now we've covered the power clean pretty intensively in the warm-up. So what we're gonna look at is 3 per side again with this. So we're gonna take it to that end range where we feel comfortable maintaining that back position. Knock off 3 power cleans, switch sides, 3 power cleans. Then we're gonna move into the push-up. So the push-up, we have multiple variations and ways to do this. You can do it on a countertop, you can do it on a ottoman, back of a chair, table, something that's stable, and work that elevated surface. Now if you're taking it to the floor, we have 3 variations for you. All of them are gonna stem from the full plank, and I'll explain that as we go. So I get set up in that good full plank position, nice and tight, nice and set. I'm going to draw my body forward and down slightly, touching my chest and coming back up. So I'm looking for that nice solid stacked elbow over wrist that we were talking about in our floor facing angel. My ribs stay tight, I come back up, I finish with that good plank position, and I maintain that good tension throughout the work set. There's 6 in the workout, so even if you're looking, oh, that's a small number, if push-ups aren't your strong suit, I highly suggest breaking them down 2 quick sets of 3 perhaps, or fast sets of 2. As we move through these AMRAPs, they're gonna get harder and harder, so set yourself up well for success in this work set. Now the other variation is our toe to knee. So I set myself up in my toe plank position, I lower down with that good eccentric, drop the knees, push, come back to my plank. Lower, knees, up to my plank. And I'm maintaining that tension, that knee plank, as I drop my knees down. So that's the hardest part of that variation, is maintaining tension when I put the knees on the floor. We want to use the knees to help with the press, but we want to imagine mentally that they're not there, because we're starting to build and bridge the gap from the knee push-up into the full toe push-up. And this is a nice way to start loading those arms just a little bit more. Now our last variation is our knee push-up, but we're still going to start each set, not each rep, but each set from our toes. So we get ourselves set up in that good plank. I lower my knees, so I'm now in a very solid knee plank. And then I'm going to execute my push-ups. Forward and down, maintaining that good elbow position, that good core position, as I maintain that solid plank from my knees. Now if I have to break my set up, I'll start my next set from the toe plank, find my good knee plank, and push. It does require a little extra setup time, but it's worth it because it puts you in that really solid position with proper tension to move you into those good knee push-ups. After those push-ups, we have an air squat, and we've covered the squat mechanics pretty well in the goblet squat. Now this time we just don't have a load that's going to assist us. So what we're going to do is get our feet in that natural squat stance, so hip to shoulder. I'm going to stand super tall. I'm going to draw the hips back to the heels, keeping my body upright as best I can, and drive through that midfoot, maintaining that flat foot contact. So I'm working that nice natural squat to that range that I have, and I can maintain that position. So it's a great exercise to use that squat as recovery if you need to, or you can push the pace in that 9 squat to get back on that dumbbell to hit those power cleans. As a quick recap again, we have 3-minute AMRAP, 3 power cleans per side, push up for 6, air squat for 9. Once we finish that 3-minute AMRAP, we get a 60-second rest. We're gonna repeat that for 5 rounds. It's a doozy of a work set, you guys. I'm hoping you guys enjoy this one. I love it. It's a great one that just sort of comes back every now and then. It just reminds you how great this workout is and how much fun it is. So let's kickstart off the week the right way. Let's have some fun. As always, everyone, let's work for quality, enjoy, have a ton of fun, and we'll see you tomorrow for some more fun programming. Bye, you guys.